On his way home, Graham, traveling in the right lane of I-95, spotted a car coming up fast in the far left lane. The driver was a woman, and she was gaining rapidly on another car carrying two men.
The car comes up behind him and flicks the high beams, asking him to move over.
After a moment, the woman did pass by, but the other driver flashed his high beams at her.
You have a situation where they are now giving her steady high beams and following close behind her.
As I was moving over, I didn't notice how close they were behind her.
My point is, you pulled behind them.
I moved over 2 lanes, yes.
And gave them the high beams?
Yes.
Why did you do that?
Why did I do that? I didn't like what I saw. I don't like people bullying other people. I was disgusted.
In the car, now being pursued by the former deacon, were Mike Blodgett.
We started off in the high-speed lane. He showed up behind us. And then we moved to the middle lane. And he moved to the middle lane behind us, still with his high beams on.
The cars continued down the highway in the same position, with Graham tailing Blodgett. After miles and miles of this behavior, Blodgett decided he'd had enough.
Mike said, I'm going to pull over and ask this guy what his problem is.
What'd you do?
I pulled into the breakdown lane and stopped immediately, as far behind him as I could.
They got out of their car and walked toward Graham, Blodgett carrying a big flashlight.
I saw him get out of his car and go immediately to his trunk.
I had a crossbow in the trunk.
That's right. Deacon Graham, an archery buff, kept a crossbow in his trunk for self-defense.
I warned him immediately to hold it right there. You better go back to your car. As I'm saying this, I'm loading an arrow into it.
And then all of a sudden I heard an air noise, and Mike said he shot me. And I can remember backing up and looking, and he was already covered, soaked with blood.
After memorizing Graham's license plate, Aston drove Blodgett to a nearby hospital.
They get to the hospital, and they never stop the bleeding, and he dies.
Mr. Blodgett, when he stopped, was angry. But Mr. Blodgett was deserving of an explanation about why this man was harassing him for these 8-some-odd miles down the highway. He was not deserving of being shot by a crossbow.
A jury agreed, and Graham was convicted of first-degree murder with extreme cruelty and atrocity. But to this day, he insists that he was only defending himself and his wife against 2 bigger and younger men.
You know what I haven't heard? It occurs to me. I haven't heard you say, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry that I had to defend myself. I was forced to defend myself. And I will not apologize for defending my wife and defending my own life. I won't apologize for that. Am I sorry for bull? It's as simple as that. Bull. I'm not going to apologize for doing the right thing. I did nothing wrong to him.
Graham received a life sentence with no possibility of parole. His wife, the woman he vowed to protect, is now divorcing him.
I'm sorry that I had to defend myself. I was forced to defend myself.